Here is the first topic, read like this. First topic is read like this. India slipped 131st position out of 148 country in Global Gender Gap Index 2022. In the 19th edition of the World Economic Forum Global Gender Gap Report 2025, India slipped two places from its position. Last year, 129th, and also India's overall gender parity score of 64.4% is among the lowest in the South Asia. Bangladesh emerged as the best performer in South Asian country, jumping 75 rank to reach the 24th position globally. Overall, no economic has yet achieved full gender parity. Iceland leads the ranking of for the 16-year ranking, followed by the Finland, Norway, United Kingdom, and the New Zealand. New Zealand, with the with the global gender gap improving from 68.4% in 2024 to 68.8% in 2025. It will take 123 years to reach full parity globally. India's overall performance Global Gender Gap Index annually benchmark the current state and evolution of the gender parity across four key dimensions, sub-indexes. Key dimension India's overall performance, economic participation and opportunity. India's economics overall performance improve in absolute terms. Economic participation improved marginally by 0.9% to 14.7%, and with parity in estimated earned income rises, labor force participation rate remain the same, 45.9%. India's higher level achieved to date. Educational attainments India scored 97.1%, reflecting the positive shift in the female shares for literacy, tertiary education enrollments, health and survival. India also record higher parity in the health and survival, driven by the improved score in the sex ratio at birth and in the healthy life expectancy. However, parity is obtained despite an overall reduction in men's and women's life expectancy. Political empowerment India recorded a slight drop in parity, 0.6 point in the political empowerment. Female representation in parliament fell from the 14.7 to the 13.8% in 2025, and lowering the indicator score for the second years in a row. Share of the women is in ministerial roles fail 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 from 66.5% to 5.6%. Here's the key dimension India's overall performance, economic participation and opportunity. India's economics overall performance improved in absolute terms. Economic participation improved marginally by 0.9% to the 14.7%, with parity in estimated earned income rises. Labor force participation rate remains the same, 45.9%. India's highest level achieved to the date. Educational attainments India scored 97.1%, reflecting positive shift in the and share for literacy and tertiary education enrollments. Health and survival India so record primary higher parity in the health survival, driven by the improved score in the sex ratio at the birth and in the healthy life expectancy. However, parity is obtained despite an overall reduction in men's and women's life expectancy. Political empowerment, India record a slight drop in parity, 0.6 point in the political empowerment. Female representation in overall fell from the 14.67 to the 13.8 in 2025, lowering the indicator a score for the second year in a row. The share of women in ministerial role fell from 6.5% to 5.6%. The key dimension India's overall performance. Economic participation and opportunity. India economic overall performance improved in absolute terms. Economic participation improved marginally by 0.9% to 14.7%. With parity in estimate earned income rises, labor force participation remained the same, 45.9%. India's highest level achieved to the date. Educational attainments, India scored 97.1%, reflecting positive shift in the female share for literacy and tertiary education enrollment. Health and survival, India also recorded higher parity in health and survival, driven by improved score in sex ratio at birth and in the healthy life expectancy. However, parity is obtained despite an overall reduction in men's and women's life expectancy. Political empowerment, India recorded a slight drop in parity, 0.6 point in the political empowerment. Female in representation in parliament fell from the 14.7% to the 13.38%. 25 lowering indicator score for the second year in a row. The share of women in ministerial role fell from 6.5% to the 6.5%. CBI Gate, India's first ever silver notice published by the Interpol in French embassy via the fraud case. Interpol has issued the first silver notice on the India's request to track the global asset for the former brain. French embassy officer Suvam Sokin, who is wanted in connection with visa fraud about the Interpol, Genesis established an international criminal police commission during Second International Police Congress in Vienna in 1923, established Interpol in 1956. Members country in India is one of the founding member. Headquarter Lyon, France. National Center Bureau National National Center Bureau established by the member country as a point of access for Interpol affairs. CBI is India's NCB2 Interpol Bharat Pol portal developed by CBI to provide all Indian law enforcement agencies with a seamless connection to Interpol governing body, the General Assembly and Executive Committee. Notice Interpol's Labor Code notice are international requests for cooperation and alert, allowing police in member country to share critical crime-related information. For instance, red is for detaining a fugitive, blue for seeking additional information, black for unidentified bodies, yellow for missing person. Notice are published by the General Secretary at the request for of NCB and are made available to all the member countries. Enter, Interpol Silver Notice Asset Recovery and International Cooperation. What is Silver Notice? International tool for asset recovery and information sharing. Cross-border asset recovery agency in India can collect information on asset for fugitive and key accused even if assets are parked in other countries. India's participation. India is among the 15 member countries in the first phase pilot project continued till November 1st. Silver notice published in January 2025 on the behalf of a Italy request allocation. Each member nation can request up to 9 notice during the pilot project phase. Global trend, global trend report. Global report force and displacement in 2024 released by United Nations High Commissioner for Refugee. Uh, force displacement force force displacement refer to the situation of a person who leave their home due to a factor like persecution, violation, human rights violation, disaster, etc. Key highlight estimate 123.2 million people worldwide were forcefully displaced at the end of the 2024. Children account for 40% of all forcefully displaced people. A slightly more than one third of all forcefully displaced people globally were Sudanese, Syrian, Afghanistan, Ukrainian. 73.5 million people remain internally displaced at the end of the 2024. Challenge posed by the force displacement vulnerable to the food insecurity, disruption, livelihood dependency on the aid and logistic challenge in refugee camps for or conflict zone. Public expenditure Public expenditure shock increase in government spending on the part of the host government. Social tension, competition over scarce resource can lead to the tension between the host community and displaced population. Unemployment issue, change in labor and consumer market, law, loss of employment wage for informal low skill young and female worker of the host country initiative undertaken for forced displacement. Global Compact for Migration, adopted by majority of the UN, provided framework for international migration. It is a non-legally binding global program on forced displacement established in 2009 by the World Bank to enhance the global development response to forced displacement. UNHCR headquarters Geneva, Genesis established by the General Assembly of United Nations 1950 and purpose to protecting rights and building a better future for people, purpose to flee their homes because of the conflict and persecution achievements. It received Nobel Peace Prize in 1952, 1954 and to 1981. International International Atomic Energy Agency declared Iran in French after 20 years. The 19 out of 35 IAEA uh, board members voted to censure Iran for failing to meet nuclear non-proliferation commitment. The resolution was moved by the France, UK, Germany, and the USA. The move followed by an IAEA report noting Iran has enough 60% enriched uranium to potentially make 9 nuclear bombs. The issue may now go to the Security Council, which could reimpose sanctions under the US 15 nuclear deal. About the 2015 nuclear deal participation, the Joint Comprehensive Plan for Action was signed between the Iran and the P54, China, France, Germany, Russia, and UK and USA. In 2018, USA withdrew from the deal, and since 2019, Iran has increasingly breached restrictions. purpose to limit Iran's nuclear program in return for the sanction relief. UN endorsements by UN Security Council Resolution 2231 2009 Iran key obligation key Iran key obligation Iran's key obligation uranium enriched cap and allow IAEA inspection under the nuclear non-proliferation treaty, sanction relief for Iran, removing weapons ban and nuclear ban for by UN and USA. In response to the current tensions surrounding Iran's nuclear activity, Israel has launched Operation Rising Lion targeting uranium. Israel has been targeting Iranian nuclear military site. Notes to know more about IAEA. Please refer page new today of the 16 May 2025. Solar orbiter. Solar Orbiter, a spacecraft obtained first image of the sun's pose. It was made possible for tidal orbit, solar orbiter in reaching our understanding of the sun's magnetic field solar cycle. Solar orbiter is a joint solar mission between the European Space Agency and NASA, launched in the 2020 with the objective of the take a close-up image of the sun's observed solar wind and the sun's solar region. Significance of studying sun's poles. First, polar view aid in the improved understanding of the solar cycle. Current models are unable to predict exactly when how powerful the sun will reach its motive active state. During a solar maximum expulsion of light energy and solar radiation affect the space weather. Sun's magnetic field measurements show that both north and south polarity magnetic fields are present at the sun's south poles during the polar solar maximum. Sun's magnetic north and south poles. Sun's magnetic field measurements show that both north and south polarity magnetic fields are present at the sun's south poles during the solar maximum. Sun's magnetic north and south poles do flip roughly every 11 years. Tracking movement of particle imaging as spectrographs track particle movements in form of solar winds and the solar storms away from the sun's equator. This will improve a space weather forecast. Other solar mission Other solar mission ESA NASA Solar Heliospheric Observatory 1995 NASA Parker Solar Probe first spacecraft to touch the sun's corona. China's Advanced Space-Based Solar Observatory. India's Aditya 11 and NASA's Punch Polarimeters 25 Corona and the Heliosphere mission. Successful Successful trial of the hybrid unmanned aerial vehicle Rudrashtra conducted at Pokhran stated vertical takeoff and landing capability, extended flight range, real-time surveillance, and accurate target engagement over a range of the 50 km. It marks a significant step forward in the India's effort to strengthen indigenous military technology under the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative above the Rudrashtra. It is a hybrid vertical takeoff and landing involve manufacturing by Solar Defense Aerospace Limited, AV is an unmanned aircraft system that is either controlled remotely and can fly automatically without the need for a pilot. Float wall can take off and land vertically vertically eliminating need for runaway and providing maneuverability and thus versatility in the operation. Feature feature total range including tolling over the target is 170 km with the estimated endurance of 1.5 hours, equipped with the precision guide anti-personal wear hair with mid-altitude release capability, can replay bike leave video and return to the launch position in automated mode. Also, cosmic drone, cosmic drone, with the help of with the with the cosmic dog with the help of cosmic large angular survivals telescope located high in the Atacama Desert of the Child, scientists have captured a faint 13 million year old microscope signal from the ground. This research provides new insight into how the first star early inversion. About the cosmic dawn refers to the period roughly between the 15 million so 1 million years after the Big Bang. This is the time when the first star black holes galaxy are believed to have formed. RBI by RBI bond buyback has seen a strong demand recently. What is RBI buyback? A bond buyback is when the RBI purchase government security from the bank of a for maturity objective, infuse liquidity into the banking system, especially when growth need a push, reduce gross borrowing by retiring high cost or short term bond early. May they call. May they During Ahmedabad London Air Indian airplane crash, the air traffic control received a Mayday call from pilot minutes after the takeoff. About the Mayday call, the word Mayday was coined in the early 1920 by the Fredericks Astronomy a radio officer in London. It is the phonic equivalent of Mader help me. It became part of the international radio communication for pilots and marine by the 1923 was formally adopted in 1927 alongside the Morse's first flight used Cryon's Lee Bargate flight began in May Day. A standard, the International Radio Telegraph Convention formalized it, meaning when a pilot say Mayday, they are declaring a life-threatening emergency requiring immediate help. Zero coupon bond Power Finance Corporation has withdrawn a zero coupon bonds issue about the zero coupon bond, also known as discount bond. They do not pay interest to the holder. They are purchased at the deep discount to face value, but they are repaid at the full face value per at maturity. They are more sensitive to interest rate change than bonds that pay interest or on a periodical basis. Agentic AI, India's first agentic AI equity launched by the Kutrin can book, can pay, will, and perform other tasks. About the agentic AI, it refer to the AI system that can autonomously make decisions, take action, and adapt to changing environment. It engaged vast amount of data from multiple data sources and third-party applications to analyze challenge, develop a strategy, and execute tasks. And independently, it can enable company to deliver higher value through a service as a software from a software as a service. Price support scheme, government approval procurement of summer mung under the PSS for the summer season. Government is implementing integrated scheme Pradhan Mantri Annadata Aay Sanrakshan Abhiyan, which encompasses PSS price deficiency payment scheme, market intervention scheme, and price subsidization fund. Department of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare implementation PSS and PDPS and MIS, and whereas the Department of Consumer Affairs implementation of PSB. About the PSS notified pulses, oilseed and copra are procured at the minimum support price directly from the pre-registered farmer by the center nodal agency through the state label agency given for the conform to the prescribed fair average quality aim to provide the remunerative price to the farmer. A Servant of Indian Society, June  12 marked the 112th anniversary of the establishment of the Servant of the Indian Society. About the Servant of the Indian Society, Genesis founded in 1905 in Pune, Maharashtra. Founder Pal Krishna Gokhale and with J.K. Devadhar, A.B. Patwardhan and N.A. Dravid. Mahatma Gandhi regarded Gokhale as his mentor and was a mentor of the SIS. Servant of the Indian Society mission to train young Indians to serve the nation by becoming a selfless, dedicated servant of the people, objective to promote education, encourage social service, and foster civic engagement. Nature, the organization was non-political and non-secularism. PASEX. PASEX is joint exercise between the Navy of the India and UK in wing held in the North Arabian Sea. Sri Manta Shankar Dev, the renowned Indian classical dancer Sonal Mansingh, honored with the Sri Manta Sankradev Award, one of the Assam's highest culture honors. About the Sri Manta Sankradev, 5th century saint reformer born in Ali Pokhari, situated in Nagaon district of the Assam, pioneer of the Ekasarana Dharma, a neo Vaishnavite movement emphasizing devotion to the Lord Krishna. Contribution Kirtana Ghosh, a devotional scripture composing a smidge focus on the glorification of the Lord Krishna. Gunamala, a condensed version of the Bhagavad Purana. Khiya, not a form of the one act play combining dance, music, and storytelling. Gauna, a traditional theatrical performance originating from the Kiana to often performed in Satra Vaishwanite monastery. Satriya dance, a classical dance form developed within the Satras, recognized as one of the India's 8 classical dance forms. Literary form Bhakti Pradipa, Bhakti Ratnakar, Kirtana Ghosha, etc. A literary work value spiritual and syncretism and humanism. So here I would like to students stop all the my reports. Debate and